Have you ever done something just because others repeatedly insisted, or had your achievements belittled, or felt people taking advantage of your kindness? If so, what emotions overwhelmed you? Have you ever wondered why this happens? Why must you endure internal pain while performing tasks or listening to someone else's demands, silently tolerating again and again? Everyone knows about arguments, debates, conflicts, interests, principles, ideas, and perspectives. Every time there's a moment in your life when you need to stand firmly and not back down, you start hesitating and think it better to remain silent or passive. Here and now, I'd like to talk about asserting yourself without causing harm to others, perhaps just some mild discomfort. If the issue is severe and you're tempted to do something harmful, really harmful, it would be better to reconsider and seek help instead. So, it all begins in childhood, surprisingly enough, with parents. How many of you were expected to obey and do exactly what was told without question? I imagine many of us can relate, and perhaps it's normal for some. In my opinion, a small rebellion and sense of egoism take root inside us naturally, and only we can control this, release it appropriately so others can't manipulate, take advantage, or impose their views. If the seed of self-respect never germinates, your eventual pushback may erupt like a volcano, rarely, but destructively, potentially damaging your relationships, even with yourself. Healthy ideas and a strong mentality form clear boundaries, personal rules, and convictions. Meanwhile, people are divided into different types: those easily influenced, those resistant to external pressure, and those indifferent folks drifting passively along life's current. People who are easily swayed often don't fight for their ideals, even when they're worth it. They habitually yield, surrendering and blindly following others, though not always consciously. So, what should you do in such circumstances? Reflect on your current life. Are you frequently performing tasks you dislike, fueling resentment at work or home, or yielding repeatedly to family and friends' requests? Pay attention to moments when things could tilt in your favor, but ultimately swing to someone else's advantage. Certainly, sometimes it's necessary to compromise, alter goals or conditions, and crucially, learn to say no. Saying no is a fundamental first step in asserting your individuality. Speaking of kindness, sadly, it's not always reciprocated. When you're openly taken advantage of, it needs to stop immediately. In such situations, you're not making things better for others. You're just gradually destroying yourself as an individual. Remember the last time something sparked intense negative emotions within you, yet you had to stay silent, inactive, and merely listen without interfering? Here's a secret: don't remain silent. Speak up, act, even if it repeats itself again and again. The possibility for change exists. You simply may not believe it yet. Ultimately, if you keep knocking persistently on one door, it may never open, but eventually, you'll make a hole through it. Through this opening, you'll find solutions beneficial for both sides, potentially tipping the balance in your favor, breaking free from the cycle of unwanted tolerance. Maybe that door will break down completely, and you'll realize that something simply can't be fixed. In such cases, you can do everything to detach yourself from similar scenarios in the future. Fight against what you dislike. Fight against moments when your achievements are diminished. Don't let negativity and bitterness fill your mind. Think clearly, brightly, and rise above those who spread negativity. Speak to them in a language they've never heard before. Words carry immense power. I strongly believe in eloquence, especially when they're constantly pestering you with endless requests, unsolicited advice, and undervaluing your worth. Express your opinion aloud. Be slightly more decisive at times when it's truly necessary. Make it clear to those who make your life uncomfortable that they're wasting their efforts imposing their views, and you're no longer grasping onto every word from supposedly smarter people. Yes, we all must learn from one another, listen and understand, but remember, opinions can both align and diverge. Don't become someone who accepts everything as fact or blindly trusts others. Be unique. Become who you genuinely want to be. Foster individuality and broaden your horizons. Consider others' opinions thoughtfully, reflect upon them, and draw your conclusions. You don't need to substitute your ideals entirely. nor do you need to deliberately stand out as a contrarian with an answer for everything. If the opportunity arises and you find yourself ready right now to speak your mind directly to someone's face, do it, but do it with a calm head. Choose strong words to convey the confidence and seriousness of your intentions. Simply shouting or raising your voice is worthless. Anyone can do that. True strength emerges when you manage to understand the other person, place yourself in their shoes, and reflect on where the truth really lies. With facts properly arranged, begin speaking your true thoughts and what you believe needs to be done. Perhaps they'll listen, perhaps not, but you'll undoubtedly feel the moment clearly when you're not being interrupted. You'll have grown in your own eyes, and that's no small victory. Your ideas might indeed be superior. If you feel that's the case, speak up, provide arguments, debate, and hold your ground firmly to the end. Just one encounter like this could shift your social life 180 degrees. Become someone who clearly sees their strengths transparently, without fantasies or exaggerations, while working persistently on weaker areas. Be the one who listens and understands when necessary, but also someone who confidently stands up for their ideals when feeling completely in their element. When no one else dares act, you'll be the first to take that vital step. Let's take two hypothetical people. One a teenager, another a fully grown adult with significant responsibilities. If you're a teenager and you're certain you've got a good head on your shoulders, that you're independent enough, having already navigated numerous challenges for your age and managed to overcome them, but adults around you constantly dismiss your problems and achievements, no matter how hard you try to explain or persuade them. Some adults remain as unyielding as bunker walls, standing firm on their beliefs and forcing you into silent frustration. Don't give up. Seek alternative approaches. If you feel an absolute need to prove your point, correct actions and determination during critical moments will nurture your self-belief and confidence. Of course, no matter how close someone is to you, it's always possible to distance yourself from them in the future. Not all adults accumulate the knowledge necessary to interact appropriately with their children as they age. Some people remain conservative, mentally stuck decade behind, failing to see a problem with this. Save your sincere thoughts and intentions. Not everyone deserves them. Preserve them for someone who will genuinely value your perspective. When you're still dependent on your parents, demonstrating responsibility and independence has significant benefits. You'll find life easier, and those around you will start perceiving you as a confident individual who, in most situations, knows how to handle themselves. Through this process, you'll build your sense of self, expand your worldview, and clearly establish your boundaries. Above all, don't become someone who just drifts through life, floating passively on the current. If that happens, the inner you will not mature when you most need it. Instead, you'll wake up to self-awareness later in life, potentially causing significant harm to your adult self. You will not have learned or understood how to live and think independently. Your confidence, decisiveness, self-awareness, introspection, and objectivity might never see daylight, or might be hidden deep inside, far out of reach. If you're already at an age bearing considerable responsibilities, but find yourself consistently undermined by friends, colleagues, or acquaintances who see you as reliable yet naive, take a step back. They might be accustomed to your unwavering willingness to help, using you without considering your own wishes. Start by being honest with yourself. Recognize these moments clearly. Perhaps you haven't noticed everything at once, but likely you've contemplated some aspects already. It's not crucial to convince everyone you're different. People your age typically have fixed beliefs shaped over many years. It's better to distance yourself from such people. Temporarily step back from your social life and notice if you feel better without those environments. This represents the first phase. Simultaneously, it would be beneficial to find something you genuinely enjoy doing. If you've already found such an activity, excellent. Become better at it. Spend some quality time alone, appreciating your work, your interests, and your thoughts. Address internal issues that have long plagued you. Don't procrastinate on this. The fewer internal conflicts, the stronger your mental state will become. But again, I'll repeat myself. You can't always solve everything alone. If your situation is truly severe, if you've lost your self-worth after enduring life's hardships far too long, turn to someone you trust. even just slightly, and speak your mind openly. If you're entirely honest and straightforward, you'll find relief. Believe me, don't deceive yourself. Speak from your heart, and your clouded mind will grant you another chance, creating space to clearly assess the situation and fill it with a positive approach toward yourself and resolving the issue. My main point is growing as an individual in adulthood, you'll understand your boundaries and comfort zones, which no one should infringe upon. Exactly that. Become the best version of yourself. Merely defending yourself and dismissing everyone in every situation does not equate to genuine growth. Compare yourself only with your past self. See if you've overcome certain aspects or made changes to the extent that you're steering the wheel instead of being pulled by others. Inner growth offers confidence, clarity of thought, and objectivity, qualities often lacking in our society, among teenagers and adults alike. Understanding precisely when to compromise because you see your weaknesses clearly and when to firmly hold your ground. Realizing your work and ideas exceed your expectations. Try to reflect more, but avoid isolating yourself completely or overthinking every past moment when you fail to defend yourself. Experience it, learn from it, discuss it with someone. Find at least one individual as independent and unique as you, someone whose thoughts you won't copy but rather engage with as equals in conversation. Don't criticize harshly, and if you do criticize, control your anger. Yes, it's challenging, but your anger belongs entirely to you. It's within each of us, triggered by our own reactions and thoughtlessness. This world is immense and diverse. Everyone listening to this message is special and unique. Explore yourself. Take new steps toward discovering your hidden sides. There are countless ways to achieve this, and only you can determine which one suits you best. Perhaps this video seems like clickbait, because I don't offer specific tips for asserting yourself. But my view is that the solution lies within ourselves. I hope I provided food for thought regarding your place in environments where everything and everyone seems against you, undervaluing your individuality. It's not you who's flawed, it's just that you're not where you want to be, doing something you dislike. Changing this is entirely within your power. Act wisely, guard your actions and words, cherish yourself, and love yourself. This video was created quicker than expected. I already have a few subscribers. Thank you so much. Keep motivating me. Subscribe, for goodness sake. I beg and implore you with all sincerity. Lastly, a question. When was the first time you successfully convinced someone during a significant situation in your life? Share your experiences and impressions of this video in the comments. This joke is old, but I'll tell anyway. Two cowboys walk into a saloon and say to the bartender,